Well, students, so today we are going to start with this definite integral. This is exercise 7.9 as per NCERT. First of all, you can see that here we have this integration of fx dx. Here this a stands for lower limit and this b stands for the upper limit of the integral. This a stands for lower limit and b stands for the upper limit. Suppose when you solve it and your answer is coming out to be capital Fx. Now after that you will write the limits in this manner a to b. So what we have to do is first of all we will substitute the upper limit, that is f applied to b minus f applied to a. So this is what you will do for definite integral. Expression will be given to you. You will just integrate that. After integration, suppose you are getting the answer as capital Fx. Now in that you have to put the limits. So how to put the limit? First of all, you will put upper limit f of b minus f of a. And here you will not write that arbitrary constant c, because here you will get a definite answer. So a stands for lower limit and b stands for the upper limit. Just quickly write down this much. I will give you some examples. So you can write down this is integration of this fx a to b, where a is the lower limit and b is the upper limit. Suppose your answer is coming out to be capital Fx, a is the lower limit, b is the upper limit. Then you will just put upper minus lower, upper limit minus lower. Okay, now let me give you this simple example. So here our question is we want to integrate ex dx. The lower limit is 2 and the upper limit is 3. Now, when you integrate ex, you know that its integration is simply ex only. So, after integration, you will write ex, and this is how you will write the limit 2 to 3. This is lower limit, and this is upper limit. Now, we will substitute the limits. So, when you substitute the limits, you will get this as e to the power 3 minus e to the power 2, which can also be written as e ka square e minus 1. So, this is what I was saying. You have to just integrate the function. After integration, you have to put the limits. So as per this, upper limit minus lower limit. So e to the power 3 minus e to the power 2. Now after that, I had done simple calculation. Just I am taking e square common and I can write it as e minus 1. So this is one example. Let me give you some more examples. Okay, suppose you want to integrate this one, x dx. Now, here we want to x dx. Now the lower limit is 2 and upper limit is 4. So you will integrate this normally. So when you integrate this normally, you will get this as x square upon 2. Limits will run from 2 to 4. Now after this, you will substitute the limits. So how to substitute the limits? Again, upper limit minus lower limit. So when you write this precisely, it will be 1 by 2 can be taken out, upper limits. So 4 ka square minus 2 ka square. So just do calculation and get the final answer. So what exactly we meant by this is just you have to integrate this function like x dx. We are integrating this as x square upon 2. Limits are running from 2 to 4. Lower limit is 2, upper limit is 4. Now we are substituting in place of x. So when I put, it will become 4 ka square minus 2 ka square. Just do calculation in this. So this is 16 minus 4. It will become 12 upon 2. So finally, you will get the answer as 6. So this is definite integrals a to b fx dx. A is the lower limit and b is the upper limit. After integration, suppose you are getting capital Fx, this is the integral. Now you have to simply substitute the limits. So integration, we have to do what we had done in that indefinite integral. Similarly, we will proceed in this one also. Just the only step is we have to substitute the limits. And here you will not write that plus c, because it's a definite integral. You will get a definite answer. Okay, now you can see this table. These are the values which very frequently will come. So you just write down the list of these values. Mostly you know it that log 1 is 0, log e is 1, e ki power 0 is 1, e ki power 1 is e, tan inverse 0 is 0, sin inverse 0 is also 0, sin 0, sin pi is 0, tan 0, tan pi is 0, then cos 0 is 1, cos pi is minus 1, sin 90 1, sin 3 pi by 2 is minus 1, tan 90 is not defined, tan inverse 1 is 45, tan inverse minus 1 is minus pi by 4, and so on. So just quickly write down this table. You will come across these values. So it is better to make a list of these values. So after these values, let me write down some more examples. Okay, just try this yourself. I will discuss the answer. So here in example number 3, your lower limit is minus 1 and your upper limit is 1. Just integrate and substitute the limits. So here, when we integrate, it will become x to power 3 upon 3. Limits are running from minus 1 to 1. Now let us substitute the limits. So upper limit minus lower limit. So this 1 by 3 can be written over here. 1 by 3 will become 1 to power 3 minus 1 to power 3. This is upper limit minus lower limit. So you can see that it will become 1 plus 1. So it is 2. So finally, you will get the answer as 2 by 3. Because this is minus 1 to the power of 3. So it will become minus 1. So minus and minus will become plus. So 1 plus 1, ultimately we get this as 2. So 2 by 3 will be the final answer. Okay, next you can write down this example number 4. So here we want to integrate dx upon 1 plus x square. Limits are 0 to 1. Now, you know that it is that x square plus a square, 7.4 exercise. So this is directly a formula of something. So this can be written as 1 upon a tan inverse x upon a. So that means this integral can be written as 1 upon 1 tan inverse x upon 1. Now limits are running from 0 to 1. That means it will become tan inverse 1 minus tan inverse 0. Now you know that your answer will be pi by 4 minus 0. So ultimately it will be pi by 4. So here the answer will be 2 by 3. And for this one, it is 0 to 1 dx upon 1 plus x squared. So as per formula, it is tan inverse x upon a. Limits are running from 0 to 1. So we had just substituted the upper limit, tan inverse 1 minus tan inverse 0. So tan inverse 1 is pi by 4. tan inverse 0 is simply 0. So finally your answer will be pi by 4. Let me give you some more examples so that this concept becomes clear. Yes, all of you try this. 0 to 90 sine 2x dx. Example number 5. Let's write down this 0 to 90 sine 2x dx. So here again, when you integrate this expression, you know that by extension formula this can be written as cos 2x upon 2 with a negative sign. Limits are running from 0 to pi by 2. So integration of sine 2x as per that 7.3 exercise, you know that this can be written as cos 2x divided by 2 with this negative sign. Now limits are running from 0 to 90. 0 is the lower limit, 90 is the upper limit. So now let us substitute. So when you substitute, you will say upper limit minus lower limit. So this will become cos 2 into 90 minus cos 2 into 0. So when you do further calculations, this will be minus 1 by 2 outside. This will become cos pi. And this is simply cos 0. So now when you substitute the values, it will be minus 1 by 2. So in place of x, we are putting pi by 2. So this 2 and 2 will cancel out. So we left with cos pi. Now after this, we can use this table and we will substitute the values. So when you put the values, this will become minus 1. This is also minus 1. So ultimately, you will get your answer as 2 by 2. So this will be equal to 1. So your final answer will be 1. Okay, so after this, let me give you some more examples. Next is number 6. Suppose you want to integrate 2 to 3, 1 upon x dx. So again, it's a straightforward question. 2 to 3 dx upon x. So you know that dx upon x is the integration for log x. This can be written as log mod x. Limits are running from 2 to 3. So this can be written as upper limit minus lower limit. So finally, by using the properties of log, this can be written as log 3 by 2 also. I had not written mod over here because you know that 3 is a positive one. 3 is a positive number, 2 is a positive number. So I can drop writing this modulus. So you finally you will get this as log 3 minus log 2. By property of log, we can write this as log 3 by 2. So next one is, suppose we want to integrate x ex dx. Now limits are running from 0 to 1. Now obviously you need to apply integration by parts here because it's a product of two functions. This is second function, this one is first function. So here we need to apply integration by parts. So when you apply integration by parts, can rewrite this as first function as it is, integration of second, limits are running from 0 to 1, derivative of first, derivative of x with respect to x is 1, and this is ex dx. So this is how you will write the limits. This we had integrated, so you will write 0 to 1 over here. And derivative of this one is 1. And here we had integrated ex, but again we have to integrate this ex. So finally we can write this as x ex 0 to 1. And after this we will substitute the limits. So here we are applying integration by parts in this number 7. What exactly we had done? We can see that this is first function, this is second function. So we have to apply integration by parts. So first of all, we had decided which one is first and which one is second by using that ILATE rule. So exponential will be treated as second, algebraic will be treated as a first function. So let us apply that integration by parts. So first function as it is, integration of ex is simply ex, limits are running from 0 to 1, minus derivative of x with respect to x is simply 1, integration of ex is ex only, and then again we have to take the integral. So finally you will get this as x ex 0 to 1, and integration of ex is simply ex 0 to 1. Now when you substitute the limits, then limit has to be substituted everywhere. Like here we have x, so you will put the limit over here as well as over here, right? Because you will get a definite answer. So you have to substitute the limits. You cannot leave your answer in terms of x. So let us see how we can apply limit. So here upper limit, so 1 into this minus 0 into e to power 0. This will become e to power 1 minus e to power 0. Just see this carefully. So what I had done, I am substituting here as well as here. So when I put x equal to 1, it will become 1 into e to power 1 minus 0 into e to power 0. So anyway, this 0 into e to power 0 is 0. So this term will vanish. And if you see this carefully, then we can write this as e minus 0 minus e plus 1. So final answer will be plus 1. Let us see how this can be written as e minus 0 minus e plus 1. So ultimately your answer will be 1. Because you know that e to power 0 is simply 1. And this minus will become plus. So finally you will get the answer as positive 1. So this is example number 7. Let me give you 2-3 more examples. Okay, so number 8. Suppose I want to integrate x dx upon 1 plus x square. Limits are running from 2 to 3. Now here, if you analyze this one, then this is based on substitution method, that is 7.2 exercise. We have to put denominator as a t, and then we can do it. So let's see how. So when you put 1 plus x square is equal to t, now you will differentiate both the side. So you differentiate and you will get 2 dx is equal to dt. So x dx can be written as dt by 2. Now this is what we had substituted. So x dx will become dt by 2. Now this is integral in terms of x. We have to convert the integral in terms of t. So when you convert this integral in terms of t, you can rewrite this as 1 upon 2 dt upon t. This is how we can write. But here, one very important thing is when you have changed this integral to t form, then you have to change the limits also in terms of t. So earlier, our limits in terms of x were 2 and 3. But I cannot write here 2 and 3 because I had taken a new variable. So I have to calculate these once again. So I have to write these new limits as per the value of x. So how to calculate these? We will utilize this substitution. So you will say when x is 2, then t will be equal to, here put x is equal to 2. So when you put 2, it will become 5. And when your x is 3, then again you can substitute over here. So it will become 10. So that means your new limits are 5 to 10. Let me explain you this once again. This is what we had done. Obviously, you can recognize this that this is based on that substitution method. So we are substituting 1 plus x square as t. You can convert the question to dt form 1 by 2 dt by t. Now what I am saying, 2 to 3 are the limits with respect to x. Now with respect to t, we have to calculate these limits. So how to do that? X. So when x is 2, you will put over here. So your corresponding value for t will become 5. Now when your x is 3, you will substitute over here. So 1 plus 9, it will become 10. So now your new corresponding limits are 5 to 10. Your lower limit is 5, your upper limit is 10. So we had substituted over here. Now you know that how to integrate this one. It will become log t, and then you have to substitute the limits. So let's see how. This will become 1 upon 2 log t. Limits are running from 5 to 10. So this will be half log 10 minus log 5. So finally, you can say half log 2. Because again, I am applying that property of logarithm. I can write this as log m upon n, that is 10 upon 5. So it will cancel, and I can write this as log 2. So students, this is the first question where we are using substitution method. So always be very clear that whenever you are using substitution method, then you have to change the limits. So we have one other alternate method also, but you should understand this, that whenever we are substituting something as t, then you have to find the new limits with respect to that variable. So 1 plus x square is equal to t. Now when your x is 2, so I am putting 2 over here, it will become 1 plus 4, that is 5. So t is 5. When your x is 3, I am putting over here, so your t will become, now your new limits are 5 to 10 dt by t. Now just integrate calculation and we'll get the final answer. Okay, so let me write down one more question which is based on substitution method. So this is another question. Now here we have to put something as t again in this example number 9. You can see that it is again based on that substitution method. So we have to put cos x as a t. So let us proceed by that substitution method. So we will take cos x as t. This derivative is minus sin x dx, that is equal to dt. So sin x dx is minus dt. So this is our substitution. We are just taking cos x is equal to t. I had just taken the derivative. So minus sin x dx, that is equal to dt. Minus I had shifted on other side. Now, as in this example, I had told you have to change the limits. So here also we are supposed to change the limits. Let us change the limits now. So you will say when when x is equal to 0. Because you can see that with respect to x, your lower limit is 0 and your upper limit is 90. So when x is 0, then correspondingly your t will be equal to, you will put 0 over here. You know that cos 0 is simply 1. Here we are substituting. Now, when x is 90, so when x is 90, then you can see that you can put over here cos 90. So cos 90 is simply 0. Now let us convert the integral to t form. So when you convert it to t form, your lower limit is 1, your upper limit is 0, and this is dt upon 1 plus t square with a negative sign outside. So you know that it's an integration of tan inverse t minus this is 1 to 0, negative sign outside. So this is tan inverse 0 minus tan inverse 1. So finally you can see that your answer will be plus pi by 4. So cos x equal to t. When x is 0, your t will be equal to 1. When x is 90, your t will be equal to 0. So when I change this to t form, this will become minus dt upon 1 plus t square. Now you can see that this again that 7.4 exercise. Tan inverse t upon 1 minus outside limits are running from 1 to 0. 1 to 0. So when you substitute, tan inverse 0 is simply 0 and tan inverse 1 is pi by 4. So this minus and this minus will become positive. So finally you are getting your answer as pi by